Hey guys, welcome back to Unreal Labs. Today we're going to be adding on to our GNS3 lab that we've been working on. Today I figured we'd throw in a different building. I know we were talking about a layer 3 routed interface. So I've added a couple things to our GNS3 lab. In this box here I have HQ, so we're going to put switch 1 and switch 2 in HQ. And then building 2, let's just say that's, I don't know, a radio link. We could say it's a fiber link to a different building across the street. Could be across town for all we care. We've got another switch. We're going to call that switch 3. And we put one PC there. Its VLAN is VLAN 10. And this is the IP address of VLAN 10 inside of building 2. That's gigs are over here. Let's move that there. Let's clean this up just a tad. All right, so the link has been connected, and like I said, this is going to be layer 3. This is the subnet that's going to be just a /30 between switch 1 and switch 3. So we're going to have to put some, I'm just going to use some static routing for right now. As we continue, we'll get into some dynamic routing. And then switch 3 will also need a static route, so we can talk to PCs, the PC 1, 2, 3, and 4 over in HQ. So let's kind of jump into this thing here. I need to check if PC 5 has an IP, and I believe I set it, but let's take a peek. Pretty sure it's, yeah, set up for 1.2. Yep. All right, so let's jump over to switch 1 and let's show interface status, include connected. All right, and let's just make sure, oops, I didn't spell that out right, didn't finish that. So it should just give us the links that are connected and up, and gig 2/2 is up and connected. It's configured on VLAN 1 right now, so let's go to config T, interface gig 2.2. So to turn this into from a layer 2 interface to a layer 3 interface, we need to enter the command no switch port. All right, so now that switch port is now a layer 3 interface on this switch. And then we're going to assign an IP address, right, of 172.16. What did we decide again? 100. Yeah, 100.1. This will be 100.1 with a /252, or with a /30 with, so that's a 252 on the end. No shut. So that interface should now show interface status, include connected. I don't know why I'm not finishing that. Oh well. You're still seeing it here. So gig 2/2. It is Tuesday and I have had a whiskey, so just an FYI. So it's connected, it's routed. That's a good sign. We're going to come back and we'll add that route here in a second. So let's jump on over to switch 3. And switch 3 I don't believe has been configured at all, except a host name. Let's show start on that one. I don't think it has any VLANs configured either. So let's do the VLAN. So VLAN 10, we'll name it this VLAN. Had to have one more drink in my whiskey there. Good old JD for the rescue on a Tuesday night. So we'll name this IT again. That's fine. And then interface VLAN 10. So that's going to bring up a layer 3 interface for me. And then IP address. And we need a default gateway for our PC, of course. So we'll do 192.168. Whoops, it's a little too many. 1.1, no shut. And show run interface VLAN 10. That looks good. Show interface VLAN 10. It's down since we don't have anything. Actually, oops. You guys caught me. I know you did. No shut. We need to no shut that real quick. But we also need to then configure, right? Gig 00. We need to put PC5 in VLAN 10. So config T interface gig 00. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. No shut. Right? Description. We'll add a description. So it's PC5. And let's see if VLAN 10 came up. Might take it just a second, but let's continue on. So we still got to do gig 2/2. So let's continue on here. And let's make that a routed port, right? We need to, or a layer 3 port. So no switch port, right? We want to take it out of layer 2, put it in layer 3. IP address. I'll see, as you see there, it just took it a second. Sometimes on GNS3 things take 5 or 6 seconds to kind of spin back up. So let me back this out as that logging showed up. So interface gig 22, right? IP address, and we're going to be 172.16.100.2, 255.255.252. And no shut that, just to make sure. So we've got, switch back over to GNS3 so you guys can see. So we've made this a gig 22 here, layer 3 port. Same thing on switch 3 for gig 22. We've created VLAN 10, signed an IP address to VLAN 10. We've verified PC5 is in gig 00, and we've put it into the VLAN 10. So the last kind of steps here is we need routing, because right now if PC1 decides to try to ping PC5, it's going to go in to its default gateway at switch 1. Switch 1's not going to know what to do with it. And if we look at that, let me switch back over to Putty real quick so you guys can see which box I'm on. If we look at switch 1, or switch 1 and show IP route, like, you're not going to see any routes. There's no way. It doesn't know anything about, has no idea where 192.168.1.2 is. It's not listed. It could ping, let's try that. We could ping 100.1 and 100.2. It knows that. So let's go on PC1, right? So PC1 way up here, 10.0.0.2. And let's see how far we can get down this chain. We know it's not going to work, but let's just do it for lab's sake. So ping, let's try that 100.1 first. So we're good there. That interface we know is up. And then let's go 2. See what 2 does. Two's down. Let's take a look at switch 3. I'm pretty sure I typed it right, but let's make sure we got communication between these guys. And get to 1. It can ping itself. We'll slide over to switch 1. Yup. And 2. Yes, we're good to go there. So let's actually start putting some routes in. As you can see, we're not getting there yet. That one's a little funky, but let's put our routes in. Show IP route. We should know where that's at. Yeah, that's good. So config T IP route 192.168.1.0, right? Because it's going to be a 24.255.255.255.0, and then the gateway of, whoops, you guys caught that. .2. Do show IP route. So now we have a route that's showing like, hey, I know where 192.168.1 is. It is currently over around 100.2. So let's try to ping VLAN 10's interface, and we're good there. Let's try to ping PC5, right? That's all good. Let's go back here real quick. And you know why this is the case? I don't know why. It's because I'm 2 whiskeys in. So you should definitely lab with some whiskey so you can think better or slower. We need to put that route back into switch 3. We need a route into switch 3. Now we could put a route in on switch 3 that defines 10, all the 10s, maybe a /8. We could do 24s for each one of these things. I'm going to put just a default route into switch 3 here. That just points anything that comes into switch 3. If it doesn't know, since we're kind of building out a campus and switch 1 will be our core, if it doesn't know, it's going to go up to switch 1 for answers. So we're going to put this default route into switch 3 and say, hey, switch 1 is where you want to be. So let's drop over to switch 3, show IP route. As you can see, there's nothing in there. So we're going to, as you can, like, there's no gateway of last resort set, so the switch doesn't know what to do with anything. IP route. And what do you think I'm going to put in here? I'm going to put 0.0.0.0, right? Anything. And we're going to route that to 100.1. So now if we show IP route, our default right now has been set. So the default of last resort is going to be 100.1, which is switch 1, layer 3 interface for any network. I don't know. And then the static, there's the static we just entered. So now if we jump over to PC1, try to ping 2, that's going to work because switch 3 has a way of getting back. It knows what to do with that traffic. So that, we should be able to ping. Let's go one more further. Let's take a drink of whiskey if you're drinking one, which I am. And let's ping 1.1 again, which looks good. And 1.2. And we now have switched back over. Oops. I should have flipped my stuff over. Sorry about that, guys. So I did add this route here. So I'm going to just back this up a second. I added this route here. I don't know if that was caught on my recording. So we had to, on switch 3 here, switch 3, we had to add IP route 0.0.0.0.0.0.0, right? So anything going to, if I don't know, route to 172.16, 100.1. Then I was showing you the routing table here, right? So that's that command. And then the routing table now shows the default of gateway of last resort is 100.1. If you look back up here, I don't know if that was caught. I'll have to go back on the video, but the gateway wasn't set. And so that's why we weren't getting pings back, or ICMP back. I also hope my mic is doing better for you guys. I've made a couple adjustments. I need to invest a little bit of cash into it, but we're gonna see if we can get to 100 subscribers here soon. That's kind of my first goal before I dump some more money into this channel. But I really do appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna continue building out our GNS3 lab. I'm hoping we should be able to get a pretty decent build out here. I might have to shrink some things up just so it fits, but I'm gonna also add my physical equipment. I'll go over my physical equipment maybe in a YouTube short or something on my rack. These are things I've purchased over the years or have gotten from jobs that were using old equipment that we're getting retired. That's a great way to pick up old gear. Like, there's nothing wrong with a 3560 for labbing stuff. Nothing wrong with a 3750 if you can get your hands on one for nothing. Routers, you know, ASA firewalls, things like that, that, you know, companies are pulling out. Their iOSs might be old, things like that. But for CCNA, even CCNP stuff, it's equipment that's well worth picking up. And there's nothing like really, you know, touching some real equipment compared, like, just if you're starting out, especially if you're starting out, you don't have hands on, or you can't be really in the data center or something, or, you know, even an IDF at your work, you can't be touching, or, you know, you maybe have a senior guy that only puts that stuff in, whatever the case may be. That stuff is really, getting physical equipment is awesome. Same thing with servers if you're a Microsoft guy. I mean, just getting your hands on it, you know, simulators are great, but even GNS3, it's awesome, but it's not perfect, and it's slow. It's nowhere near, you know, really, my personal opinion, like real gear. Now, it costs money. You know, you need rack space. You got to have power. There's things you got to have. I mean, when I was younger, I put this stuff in my kitchen. Anywhere I could get a 20 amp circuit that wouldn't pop. So I highly recommend you getting that. We'll do some videos on that, of what I have. And like I said, I'm a pretty simple guy, but it's good stuff to keep moving forward with. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, I'd like to, you know, make sure you put in the comments, like and subscribe if you can. Tell your buddies at work. I'm going to keep this channel going. It's personally just something for me too, just to kind of have something documented as I move forward. I don't have to go back through. I know this is like a long-winded one. I've had a couple whiskeys, so I'm droning on. But and if you have some suggestions, or you can't see things, I was hoping, I had a comment on not being able to see some of the text. So I'm hoping this is a little bit bigger text for you. If that's not the case, I'll try to expand it even more. But yeah, thanks again. Like and subscribe. Appreciate your guys' time. We'll talk to you soon.